All righty. Thank you so much for joining me. If you clicked on this video as a replay, welcome. If you did not click on this video as a replay, my name is Jocelyn Kopak. I am the owner and founder of TDMFunnels and Marketing. And today we're talking about Content Marketing 101. And the reason we're talking about it is because so many people ask me over and over and over again, how are these businesses getting all of these leads and all of this like amazing sales volume? And they're really not doing a lot. Like they're putting out a blog or so a month. They're just like keeping their social media active, but they're not doing a lot. How are they doing it and how are they maintaining it without spending money on a super expensive agency, and or having to manage a virtual assistant or an online business manager or something like that. Now, there is a time and place, I will say, for a VA, for an online business manager, for a marketing agency. This is really just to get a small startup, really a fledgling business, if you will, up and running and functioning to the point where they have the budget to then go and invest. Because this is blogging, email, and social media for beginners. So if you're wondering how people are getting those leads, how people are keeping up with that content, and how people aren't going crazy when it comes to creating their content across all these channels, and keeping up with the craziness that is social media, this is the video for you. So let's get right into it. So my idea is that you already have some foundation. So I'm assuming you already have a website and you already have your social media channels. If not, pause the video, go create those. If you need more help with that, that's where TDM Funnels can come into play. I'm always more than happy to answer any questions, so feel free to put them in the comments below. So since you have your website and your social media already set up, what you're going to need is a blogging platform. Most website builders at this point in this day and age, cross your fingers, I'm not lying to you, have a blogging platform or process that they could use, right? WordPress has it, Wix has it, Squarespace has it. All of these have it. And so with that, TDM Funnels, if you're a TDM Funnels customer, we definitely have it. I want you to take a look at your blogging platform. Make sure you can actually write out a blog and change the SEO metadata behind the blog. So you can put a title in there, you can put keywords in there, you can do that kind of stuff. That's what I want you to look at for your blogging platform. So that's the first thing I want you to look for. The second thing I need you to have is an email service provider, an EMS. There's so many out there. MailChimp is a really normalized one, like just very like everybody uses MailChimp. If you're using a spreadsheet, or heaven forbid, like a cell phone to keep track of all of your customers and their contact information, we seriously need to have a conversation. But an email service provider will help you track all of the contact information for everyone that might be, has been, or will be interested in your businesses, whether it's a product or a service. So what they do is they keep track of all of the contact information. It tells you the last time you contacted them, if they opened emails, how often you've emailed them, maybe if they've emailed you back. It really just kind of helps you keep up with everything. So think about that before you kind of dig into this video. It's not a very long video, but still you're going to need it. And if you don't have one, again, TDM Funnels does this. So if you are looking for one, please reach out. The last thing you're going to need, last tool you're going to need to help make your life easier when it comes to content marketing is a social media scheduler. There's, again, a bunch out there on the market. Buffer, Hootsuite, Meta, right? Meta has one built in for Facebook and Instagram. I like one where I can go across all the platforms at once because ain't nobody got time for all of the switching between tabs. So again, if you don't have one, go create an account somewhere. And if you are looking for one, TDM Funnels does all three of these things. So keep that in mind, that you don't have to pay for 3 different subscriptions across, different logins. You could just pay for one and get it all. And it's cheaper. But anyway, I digress. It's not a sales video, it's an education video. So once you have these 3 tools in place and your logins and maybe your emails uploaded and your social media is connected, Okay, once you have those, we're ready to hit the road. And what I'm going to teach you today when it comes to content marketing is the hub and spoke model. So think of it as a tire, right? In the middle, you have your hub, and then you have all these spokes that come out from that hub, right? My model that I'm teaching you, your blog is your hub because it's a free search engine optimizer for your website. It's free views to your business, and so you can promote your products or your services, right? So think of your blog as your hub, that main central part. And then off of your blog can come your social media and your email. Those are the spokes, right? Now, when it comes to this, we're not focusing on every single social media platform out there. I mean, there's hundreds, really, if you start looking, right? We're focusing on one social media platform, one, and then we're repurposing that content. Okay, because ain't nobody got time to be trying to make content for every single social media platform and making sure it works. Okay, so hub and spoke blog is the number one thing you should be working and focusing on, and then your spokes come after that. And I'm going to show you. Just wait. I'm going to show you how to do this without spending a bunch of time. Okay, because not everybody has this time. So that's your foundations. You got your tools. You understand the basis of the methodology. Okay. So now we're on to setting some goals. Okay. Each piece of your content should align with one of these goals. If you're putting out content and you can't put it in one of these 5 categories here, we need to have a conversation about why you're spending time creating content. Okay. So the first category is sales. This is driving conversions, aka getting money. Okay. That's always number one. We all want the money, so keep that in mind. The second one is engagement. That's shares, that's likes, that's comments, right? It's that people maybe follow, maybe they're sending it to their friends. They're like, hee hee ha ha, that was great, or maybe this is really educational. That's engagement. And audience growth is next. That's reach and followers. Okay, so the number of people that are seeing the content and or the number of people that are subscribing or following you, so they keep getting your content. Landing is a little different. I call it landing because there's so many things that can go into that. That's launches, that's events that you might be putting on, that's promotions you might be doing, like think Black Friday. That's all landing, right? So that's kind of special category of goal because it might include everything, but it's specific to that specific time. Okay. And then credibility, trust, and authority. So I don't really care if it gets 1,000 likes. I want the few people that are interested in my business reading it, seeing it, watching it, listening to it, and understanding that we're an authority in the marketing space, for example, and they want to trust us, and they want to use us or follow us more for more information. Okay. So all that being said, SEO is king when it comes to the hub and spoke model. Okay. SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's free views, again, to your website with people that are interested in what you're talking about. So keep that in mind that we all like free leads, right? So if you can get your SEO on point, which is what this model does, then you're good to go. Okay. So think about that. Every time you create a piece of content, it should follow one of these 5 things. If it doesn't, you and we're gonna have an issue. Okay. So now you kind of understand the process, you kind of understand goal setting, high level. How do you pick your main platform? Because I said we're only going to focus on one social media platform. That doesn't mean we're not posting on the rest of them. We're only focusing on the one though. So Facebook has an older demographic, right? It really is there for reach. Instagram slash threads is very visual, right? Think images, graphics, video reels, right? TikTok, again, visual, short form, viral video and graphics and pictures. LinkedIn is for that professional crowd. Think B2B, business to business. Okay. Um, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok can be a mix of both, right? It could be business to business, but it also could be business to consumer, B2C. So depending on what you're selling, keep that in mind. X/Twitter is fast paced, it's thought leadership, and it's a lot of content that comes out quick, right? And then Pinterest is evergreen. Think blog traffic, think consistent SEO to build up your website. So I personally use Facebook as my number one with some of my businesses because, again, I can get that reach. I can share it out. I can reach specific demographics like in Facebook groups and like that. And then some of my businesses, I actually use TikTok as my main platform that kind of feeds over to everything else. So keep an idea of this. If you have questions and you're like, oh, well, this is what I do, and I still don't know where I should sit, think about it. Another way to think about it is, am I good at making videos? Or am I good at making graphics? Or am I good at making pictures and like taking pictures? Or am I good at writing? Right? Because that can kind of dictate where you want to sit as well. If you're having questions, drop some information about your business below, and I can kind of help you figure it out because it does get confusing. And there's so many options. I mean, this is literally 6 out of like 100. So these are the 6 main ones, but these are like 6 out of 100. Okay. So think about it. Pick your main platform that you want to focus on so you know it kind of dictates what kind of social media content you're going to want to create going forward. Cool. This is all planning. This is all planning so we can do some time management. Now, no business owner likes to hear time management because we all know we start out with the to-do list, and then at the end of the day, we're like, oh, well, a third of that got done. And then I got like another third of like a whole different to-do list that wasn't even my to-do list done as well. But I didn't get the other 2/3 done. So I break it out personally as a weekly task because then I can fit it in any day, any of the 7 days. But I have some clients that break it out differently. So content marketing is incredibly manageable as long as you break it out well. So think about it this way. Daily, you have to spend about 25 minutes a day. Weekly, you have to spend about 2 hours cumulative. So the whole week, about 2 hours. But usually I sit down and do a big chunk of that 2 hours just in one full swoop. Or monthly is about an 8 hour day. So you could sit down and do most of your content, or actually all of your content, and most of your marketing in 1 hour, 1 day. But I don't really like that because you have to set aside a whole day, and then, heaven forbid, like your dog is throwing up in the morning, or you also have an appointment to go get an oil change or whatever, and then your whole monthly plan is shot and you're trying to fit it in a different day. I don't like it. I like weekly because then at least I can kind of catch up on like a Friday night if I need to. Okay, so think about you and how you function and how you plan out your week or your month for your business. And yes, you should be planning out your weeks and months for your business. I digress. And which one you want to kind of plan in. Okay. Then you want to think about posting frequency. These are minimums. So there's nothing to say that you can't do more than this. But this is what, as TDMFunnels, we see hundreds of businesses, right? And this is what we see have worked over most of them, most of the time, as long as they're doing it. Right. So if you're B2B, so think maybe a coach, a consultant, another marketing agency. I don't know who's watching this, right? HR, right? You're selling business to business. Think 1 super good SEO blog a month, 2 emails that follow that, and 4 social media posts. So 1 social media post a week minimum. That will show anyone that's maybe Googling your business that you are alive and well. And then anybody that's on your email list or on your contact list in your EMS, your email management system, that you're still alive and well and that they should be still hiring you. Okay. If you are a B2C business, a business to consumer business, I want you to think about 1 blog a month, right? 4 emails that come out of that, because if you're dealing with the normal American consumer, we need to stay front and center, right? We be forgetting stuff. We're seeing like 15 ads an hour. So I want you to keep your business front and center in front of those consumers. So that's why it's 4. And that's how we usually see it work. And then 8 social media posts. So it's 2 a week, right? And that will really show that your business is still alive, still well, still functioning, and still able to help your potential and current and hopefully future customers, right? So think about it that way. So at this point in the video, if you don't have it, pause and get it. You should have your blogging platform, your email management system, and your social media scheduler set up. And you should have picked out which social media you're going to focus on. And now we're talking about what schedule you set for yourself for this. Okay. What schedule? You got all that? You got all that? If not, pause the video, go back, rewatch, Or ask questions in the comments right down there. I don't care. Okay, moving on. How to write the blog, the hub, the main thing, the back daddy, the big kahuna, if you will, of this marketing plan, this content marketing 101. If you do this, I promise you'll do well in the marketing side of things. And you'll have plenty of things to advertise then too. Okay. Again, this is for beginners. Remember, we're not talking about advertising. We're not talking about PR. We're just talking about keeping your business front and center in front of your clients. So, how to write a blog. Okay. It sounds like it should be easy. Most people think it is. And then I'll look at their website and I'll be like, what is this $300 or 300 word piece of shit, basically, if we're going to be honest. Don't mind my French, right? Piece of shit. And I'll be like, no, we maybe need to do a little bit more thought behind our blogs. A good blog that ranks on a search engine, think Google. Ready for this? Has a quality title, one that's going to hook right people in. Write this down because it's not on the slide. Quality title. It has at least 1,000 words in it, and not 1,000 words like we wrote in high school where we added in extra comments, commas, and adjectives and stuff, like 1,000 quality, helpful words to your potential or current customers. And Google knows that you exist. Okay, great. So you know those things. You got them all written down. Okay. So we're going to start with a common question or search that your potential customer or your current customer searches. Every time I do a marketing training, I use dog training. I don't have a dog training business. I don't even have a dog training business client. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Okay. So let's say we're putting myself in the brain of a potential client for my dog training business. I just got a puppy. Yay me. I just got a puppy. And so now I'm in Google Central. I'm YouTube Universitying it. I'm looking things up, right? And so what are those questions that I'm looking up? Maybe what to feed my puppy. How often do I let my puppy out? Maybe how to house train it. There's so many questions I would have, right? Start writing those down because as you think of them or as people ask you them, just write them down. Note section on your phone, Google Doc. I don't care where you put it. Write them down because that's what you're going to start with when it comes to writing a blog. Is those common questions, common searches that people are going to have about your business. So your dog training business, and you're like, yeah, common question is going to be how to puppy train my puppy, right? Cool. So then you're going to go find one main and four supporting keywords. So I'm going with house training puppy. That's my main keyword. And then off of that might be house training puppy without a doggy door, or house training an older dog, or how long does it take to house train my puppy? Things like that. Okay. Those are going to be your supporting keywords. I could do a whole training on how to find keywords. If you're having an issue with it, again, put it in the comments, shoot me a DM. I don't care. And I can point you to a blog on this because I wrote a whole blog because it's a lot. It's a lot. Keywords is a lot. But once you get a good chunk, like think 40 keywords that you know people are Googling that have to do with your business, it's a lot easier. I promise. I promise. And the way I do it is actually pretty easy. It takes me like whole whopping 10 minutes to find keywords for a blog. I digress. You have your 5 keywords, okay? Then you're going to go use ChatGPT to help you do an outline. I can't scream it enough. ChatGPT for the win. Say, hey, this is the question I'm answering. This is the business I've got. Here are my 5 keywords that I want to make sure are in my blog and I'm answering. Give me an outline. See what it pops out, right? It might give you ideas. You might be like, oh my gosh, I want to add these other couple things in there. Boom, boom. You have your blog structure. And that's step 4, having your blog structure. Now, I was this kid in high school and college, and like I hated having an outline. But for us in the AI writer space of the world that we are in now, have an outline because it makes having an AI help you write it oh much easier. Okay. So when you get your outline, you're going to want 3 main headlines. Boom. Then underneath each of those main headlines should be 3 to 5 subtopics. Okay. You can again ChatGPT this. Don't take my word for it. Go use it. Try it. Okay. 3 to 5 subtopics. And underneath each of those subtopics should be at least 2 paragraphs. This is a really good way to make sure you not only have a quality blog that covers and supports your keywords, but that Google likes the content you have in there and how much content. Because you have to remember, the search is Google's, and they want to make sure that they're sending their people to the right place, and you want to be that right place. Okay. Underneath each of these headlines or subtopics, you want to make sure you have a CTA, a call to action. Remember when we were talking about back just a couple minutes ago, making sure you have content goals? No? Scroll backwards. Go look. Okay, cool. Call to action. So these could be direct, like download my PDF or watch my video. These could be indirect, like if you're having issues here, maybe you could go read this other blog, right? That I talk about, right? It could be internal linking, which is, hey, for example, puppy training, house training, you're gonna need treats. Hypothetically, I wrote a whole blog about how to make at-home dog treats for cheap that don't break the bank because we went to the Walmart and they were expensive and nobody got time for all that. So you can make these at home, right? And they're $5 for like 1,000 treats. I don't know, right? And you wrote a whole blog on that. Maybe that was one of your common questions and searches that you picked out, right? You can link that to now your new blog about puppy training and house training your puppy, right? So that's an internal. Or you could do an external link, which maybe it's like, all of my training techniques are positive reinforcement. I find that that works the best for all of my dogs and my clients. And so then so should you. And maybe an external link to like a study somewhere saying, hey, this is why positive reinforcement works, right? And the reason that we like external links, even though technically it sounds like it's counterintuitive because people are clicking off of your site, is because it builds credibility. And I always make my external links to open a new tab. So my blog stays open and it opens a second window for them to look at my external link in. Okay. So think about that. There should be a call to action in each of your subtopics, at least one, right? Because that'll keep people engaged. It'll show Google that you're credible. And ideally, it switches them over to a potential and possible lead. Okay. Now, you have your blog structure, you know what your calls to action are going to be, you know your subtopics, you've written your at least 2 paragraphs for each subtopic. And the way that I do this, and this is just a hot take, this is not on the slide, the way I do this is I actually have the app for ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whatever you want to use on my phone, and I use the voice to text option. And I hit the button and I speak into it, for each of my subtopics specifically. I speak into it. I go, this is what I wanted to say. This is where my methodology lies, whatever I'm saying into my phone, right? For that subtopic, I hit go. I let it do all the grammar. I let it make my ramblings make sense. And then I copy that and I put it in my blog. And then I read through it and I make sure it all makes sense because sometimes these AIs be like creating all kinds of stuff. So that's how I do it. But if not, you've got your structure and you can just type it all out. Completely up to you, however you want to do it. Okay. So you have your blog all written. It's a nice, beautiful, giant, healthy, quality blog. It didn't take you long because you had ChatGPT do your outline. And if you like me, you just had to make your ramblings make sense, right? Okay, so now it's up on whatever blogging platform you're using. And this is where you add the final touches. Add images, graphics, you recheck the flow, look through for the SEO, make sure your 5 keywords are in there at least a couple times. Make sure you have an SEO title, make sure you have a description, make sure you add your keywords in the back end, as long as your blogging platform allows that. Cough, cough, if it doesn't, TDMFunnels. And then you hit publish. Boom, your blog is up. Honestly, for me, it takes me about an hour to write a quality, searchable, high optimized blog, okay, using this exact process. Now, granted, I have like a whole list of questions and searches that I know my clients are looking for. So I run off of that, or I run off of questions that maybe we got during a sales call. And I have a lot of my keywords already looked up. But if you want more keyword information, drop it in the comments below. I will get you that blog. Okay, so your blog is written, it's published. Yay, your hub is up. We love this. Now, what are we going to do? We got to index this blog, right? We got to make sure that Google knows that your blog is alive. So hopefully what I'm trying to do, and if not, it'll be in the description, there will be a video on how to actually set up Google Search Console so you can actually see it click by click. But if you're savvy enough, just do it this way. Just follow my lead. Google Search Console is a free tool, so you can see what's tracked, when it's tracked, why it's tracked, if it's not tracking, and if you're showing up in search. Now, it will also show you clicks. I don't trust those clicks because I see way more clicks than what it tells me. So I don't trust the clicking. I love to see it, but I don't trust the clicking. I trust the views that my blog platform tells me are actually being viewed on my blog. So that being said, it will tell you though which keywords you're ranking for. So if you wrote a blog, let's say, all about dog training and potty training outside, and then you're not seeing those keywords pop up on Google Search Console after a couple days, maybe we need to go back to the blog and see what went wrong. Okay. So quick setup is you verify your ownership of your domain, right? So like mine would be tdmfunnels.com or jocelynjkopak.com, right? You verify that domain. There's a bunch of different ways, like 1,000 ways to Sunday. You take the link of your published blog, okay, and you drop it in the inspection tool. It does this little super duper crawly thing. It says request indexing, and you leave it for a few days, and you come back 48, 72 hours later and see if it indexed. Okay. Why this matters is it helps Google know that you put up a new blog faster. So you increase your visibility tenfold minimum. Okay. It will track your clicks and keywords, which I like just using it for the keywords part. Again, clicks I think is wrong, but argue with me. Okay. And then you can see if your SEO strategy is working for your blog. So to me, if I'm going to spend an hour writing a nice, hefty, educational, credible blog, I want to make sure that that hour was well spent. And so I want to make sure my SEO strategy is working. Maybe it's because my keywords weren't quite right. Maybe I need to add some more keywords in there. Maybe it's, I just need to change up the headers a little bit to make it make more sense. It could be a bunch of things. If you are to this point and you're like, okay, it's been 72 hours, it's not getting picked up by Google, or like it's picking up really random keywords, comment below, maybe. And we can actually probably email back and forth to try to figure it out. Okay. Comment your blog link specifically, and maybe even a screenshot of your Google Search Console, and I'll be able to help you. Okay, so that's indexing your blog. So now your blog's up, Google knows about it, it's doing its thing. Now we actually got to create your content, right? We got to actually create your content. So repurposing content. These are my efficiency hacks. I mean, do it as you do. But I mean, I own a whole marketing company, so maybe you should listen. I digress. So from the one blog, you can create 3 social media posts because you have 3 to 5 headlines. So each one of those headlines, boom, bam, social media post. Okay. You can also, I like to put my, this sounds very vain, but I like to put my own quotes in my blog because I am the owner of the company. Okay. So I put my quotes in the blog, like, hey, this is what I would say. Or you can ask like maybe other industry experts to add a quote, up to you. But you know, if you have quotes in your blog, boom, 3 to 5 quotes, at least 3 posts, if not 6. Like I think it can make 6 because I'll put another quote out again, right? Subheadlines, right? So you had your main headlines and you had all your little subheadlines below. Pick out a few of those. I mean, you have a bunch of them. You have at least 6, right? You can turn those into Q&A posts. This is where, again, an AI writer, Claude, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, whatever you're using, comes into huge help because I'm not very good at turning a statement into a question. I still don't know how to do that in I've tried for years. So I just put it in to ChatGPT and I say, hey, turn this into a question. And then here's my answer. Done. Post. Okay. All of your calls to action can be posts, right? Even the external links say, hey, like I just found this really cool article or this really cool video. And I wanted to share with my followers. Obviously, it's not me, but I really, really like what they're saying. Okay. Or maybe it's your internal stuff, like linking back to other social or other blogs that you've done, right? Those can be social media posts, but they also can be micro emails. Remember when I said you're going to have to do emails? Yeah, I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. And if you have specific calls to action, you already have the content written. Might as well make an email with the same call to action in there. Kind of smart, huh? So this is my efficiency hack. This is enough to get you through a whole month, if not more. um, of posts and emails. And these are just like a couple of the things that are going to be in your blog. This is not anything extra. Like maybe you have statistics in your blog. Boom, bang. That's like just part of your blog, right? So that's what you can create out of one blog post. And that's what I usually try to pull. I really like Q&A posts. I like a good FAQ. I'm one of those girls. Makes it really easy. And I don't like having to come up with email content. So I just pull it right from my blog. Because to me, you read a paragraph, maybe, that came from my 1,013, 1,500 word blog. You've got plenty of other things to read in this blog that isn't in the email. Okay. So now we're going to bring it all together. And this comes back to kind of planning your time. So this is how I do it. Week one, I write that strong blog. I spend my couple hours really killing it on the blogging game. Then week two, I take that blog and I repurpose it into emails, social posts, and this is where your scheduler comes into play. I schedule it out. Now, again, I focus on Facebook, so my post can be anything. They can be video, image, or written. And then, at least in TDMFunnels, because I use my own scheduler, you can select what social media you want it to go out in. So just because it's a image with a big long written something, right, doesn't mean it can't also go to Facebook or Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok, even though technically I made it specifically for Facebook. I just select all the other platforms. So it's going to go out, which is fantastic. It makes my life easy. And it makes it look like I really did a lot of work when I really didn't. I only wrote one post and I told it to go out to all of my platforms. Okay. So that's where your scheduler comes in. And I schedule out for 5 weeks. So for one blog, I make 5 weeks worth of content. So if you're following the minimums, that's only 5 posts. If you're going big or going home, that's a lot more. But again, this is 101 and this is for beginners, and this is just to keep your business functioning and getting leads, right? So we shouldn't have to do much more than this. Week three, I know my blog is up. It's killing it, hopefully on SEO. Week two, I've got all of my emails scheduled out. I've got all of my social posts scheduled out. Now I'm going to focus on my main platform and multiplying that reach. So for example, if you're on Facebook, you can start sharing maybe some older posts into Facebook groups. If you're on Instagram, you can do like the 180 method, which is like, go spend I don't know, whatever Gary Vee says, but go spend some time liking other people's posts, commenting, maybe following some more people, responding to messages, that kind of stuff, of maybe some people, right? And then week four, I spend looking at my analytics and planning for my next month, and also like really multiplying my reach, if I'm going to be honest, but still, I never stop doing that. So week four, specifically looking at the analytics, making sure that that blog that I wrote a few weeks ago is doing as well as I thought it was. It's ranking for all the keywords I wanted it to, and or the sister and brother keywords, cousin keywords, that would make sense. And I'm planning out maybe what the blog question that I'm going to be answering this next month is going to be, and things of that nature. Okay, so that was Content Marketing 101, blogging, email, and social media for beginners. Do not hesitate to comment below if you have any questions whatsoever, if I wasn't clear on anything, or if you're like, wait a second, I have this kind of business and I want to do this thing. How would you do that? I'm always more than happy to answer all your questions. And take a look at the description, because I'm going to try to put as much fun information as I can down there to help you make this make sense. Okay. Well, it was a pleasure hanging out with you. Please like this video, subscribe to TDMFunnels YouTube page, and we're going to call it a day until the next time I do a training. All right, bye.